Hello YouTube, this is Captain Nav. I hope you are all doing well. In this video today we'll have a look at how to select seeds and stars. I've been asked this question a couple of times recently, so I thought I'll make a video and explain a little bit the process behind it. So to start with, you need a root. So I suggest you find some sort of root database online. Use this software called vroot. Gives a lot of roots, which are also checked by Eurocontrol. So it's fairly good. I quite like it, but you can use whatever you want. And today we'll fly from London Heathrow to Paris Charles de Gaulle. So we'll find London Heathrow here. Here is, and then across to France and Paris Charles de Gaulle. Here is. So vroot is giving us a few options. We'll go for the middle one. Gives us a fly level range as well, as you can see, fly level 210 and 230. And then I'll highlight the route for you. So we'll have a look at the route now. It's departing from London Heathrow, runway 27 right. And the route is Mike India Delta, Midhurst, Yankee 803 to Sierra Fox Delta, Seaford, Mike 605 Xidil, Upper Mike 605 BBAX, and then the arrival airport, Paris Charles de Gaulle, runway 27 right. So here is the important bit. The first point on the route will determine the standard instrument departure. So in this case, Mike India Delta Midhurst, which will highlight green, will be the standard instrument departure. And then to determine your star, your arrival, you look at the last point on the route, in this case BBAX, which will highlight red here, and BBAX will be the star or the arrival if you prefer. So in about 80% of cases, the first waypoint on the route is the SID and the last waypoint is the star. So the first thing we're going to do is go to the AFC chart for London Heathrow. And if you remember, the green arrows on the AFC chart represent departures. So we'll go towards the south of the airport, and we can find here we've got Midhurst departure. So we now know that we'll be able to find a departure for Midhurst. So moving on to the actual departure chart, the SID chart with the green tab there. If we look at the title, we've got mid included here, so we know that we are on the right chart. And looking at the diagram, we've got 4 options here, depending on the runway and direction you're departing. So if we look at the zoomed in part of the chart, we can see for 27 right, we have the Midhurst for Foxtrot departure. So our departure from runway 27 right in Heathrow will be the Midhurst for Foxtrot. Further confirmation can be obtained from the SID PT chart. We can see on the chart here we've got runway 27 right, Midhurst for Foxtrot, and then further down again runway 27 right and Midhurst for Foxtrot. So we know basically that it's the right departure for runway 27 right. So we'll jump in the simulator now. As you can see, I have the route from London to Paris loaded in the FMC with all the airways and waypoints. And to enter the departure, we'll go to departure arrival, Heathrow, and select departure. Then on the right hand side of runways, select 27 right, and then on the next page, Midhurst for Foxtrot departure, and execute. Then to check that the waypoint sequence is correct, we'll go to the legs page and just have a check through all the points there leading to Midhurst. So that's the way you would use the FMC for the departure. Next, we'll look at the arrival into Paris Charles de Gaulle. So like always, we'll start with the AFC chart, and we can see we've got orange arrow for arrivals, We have BBAC's arrival depicted in orange here, so we know we're gonna have BBAC's arrivals. So the next step is to go to the actual star chart with the orange tab. Now we've got stars from the northwest, and at the top of the chart we can see we have BBACs with level and speed information. So we've got several options, but the option on the left here is for ATC only, so it's not the usual arrival, and the other one here on the right is for prop aircraft. So the main arrival is going to be the one in the middle here, the BBAC's 7 Whiskey or 7 Echo arrival. However, on this particular chart, there's no information for 7 Echo and 7 Whiskey arrivals. So one way to find out is to look at another arrival chart for Paris and find the information there. So that's what we're going to do. This is another arrival chart for stars from the northeast, and on this chart we have this box star designators, and we can see a letter Echo for the east facing runways and letter W for the west facing runways. So we know that BBAC 7 Whiskey will be our arrival for runway 27 right. And then on the ILS 27 right chart from Mopar, the initial approach fix, we have Mopar 3 Whiskey transition leading towards the ILS 27 right. So we are now in the simulator cruising at flight level 230 over the channel, and we'll enter the arrival in the FMC. So go to departure arrival, Paris, arrival. On the right choose the approach, ILS 27 right. Then on the left hand side the star, BBAC's 7 Whiskey, and finally again on the right hand side the transition, Mopar 3 Whiskey, and execute. Then on the legs page we can check all the waypoints sequence from BBAC's all the way to Mopar, and then the transition from Mopar towards vectors for the ILS 27 right. So now we look at the return leg from Paris to Heathrow, departing runway 27 left, and we have our flight plan here, and same principle applies. The first waypoint in the route will indicate the departure. So what we'll do is that we'll highlight the Opal waypoint in green. The green is the color for the departure chart in the Lido system. So Opal will be our departure, and our last waypoint, Aliso, will determine the arrival into Heathrow. So we'll highlight Aliso in red, and we'll jump to the AFC chart for Paris Charles de Gaulle, and look for departure in green, and we can see at the top here we've got in green Opal departure, so we know we've got definitely Opal departure. So after that we can move on to the actual departure chart, and once again we've got a few options here depending on which runway you depart from, but in our case from runway 27 left we can see it's Opal 1 Alpha. Further information can be obtained from the SID PT chart. We can see from runway 27 left here we have the Opal 1 Alpha departure. Let's have a look now at the FMC. The route once again is loaded in the FMC, and we have all the waypoints and airways leading up to Aliso and the arrival for Heathrow. So to enter the departure, once again departure arrival, Paris, departures, and then on the right hand side we have the runways, so we'll find runway 27 left, here is, and on the left hand side we have all the SIDs, so I will press next page a few times until we find Opal, maybe a couple of extra times. Here is Opal 1 Alpha, select it and then execute. Once again on the legs page you can check all the waypoints and make sure the sequence is correct. Now we can check the arrival for Heathrow, and look at the AFC chart once again, and look for a orange arrow with Alesso. So looking towards the southeast of London, all we can see is begin wheeled arrival. There's no sign of Alesso anywhere on the AFC chart. So we'll try to look for a begin arrival chart. Here is with the orange tab and the title begin and wheeled, and we'll look for Ali. So we can see here begin as the initial approach fix, wheeled, which is the replacement of begin in case the begin viewer is US. And if we look for Alesso initially, we can't really find it all the way around the chart, but Alesso actually does appear here at the bottom of the chart, as you can see, coming from over the channel, and Alesso seems to be part of the begin for Bravo arrival. So the way it works is that Alesso, which is the last point on the fly plan, is actually the first point on the star, but the star carries the name of the last waypoint on the arrival itself, and in this case begin. So that's the way it seems to work pretty much around the UK and in some other places as well. And then from begin, we've got this transition towards the ILS 27 left. So we are now over the channel, and we are cruising at 24,000 feet off level 240, and we'll enter the arrival in the FMC. So go to departure arrival, Heathrow, arrivals, then choose the approach ILS 27 left on the right hand side, and then the stars, look for begin for Bravo arrival, select it, and then the transition via begin and execute. And once again on the legs page we can check the sequence of waypoints from Alesso all the way towards begin, and then the transition to the ILS 27 left at London Heathrow. So to sum things up, we can say that the SID is normally the first waypoint on the route, for example Midhurst and the Midhurst 4 Foxtrot departure. However, there can be a few exceptions with SIDs and transitions, and the first waypoint on the route is usually the last waypoint on the transition, which gives its name to it, so that's something to bear in mind. And then for the stars, the star is usually the last waypoint on the route, and the name of the star comes from the first waypoint on the star itself. So for example BBAX and the BBAX 7 Whiskey in Paris. However, there can be a few exceptions, for example in the UK and in some other countries, where the last waypoint on the route is only the first waypoint on the star, and the star name comes from the last waypoint on the arrival. So for example Alesso and the begin for Bravo arrival. So I hope you enjoyed the video and found it informative. If you have any questions, please let me know in the comments section. And if you like the video, give me a thumbs up. And if you want to see more similar content, then please subscribe. And you can also catch me on Twitch and on Facebook. So until next time, take care, and I will see you soon.